Greetings, people. This is Top Cat Jimmy, and thanks for tuning into my channel, Top Cat Jimmy TV, here at YouTube. Today's date is the 13th of November, 2017, Monday. The time is approximately 1700 hours and 13 minutes, aka 5:13 p.m. Chicagoland Central Standard Time, USA. Okay, today I would like to discuss the following, and before I do, I would like to insert a disclaimer real quick. Now, I'm going to bring up someone else's websites, and these are for the public, and the things I'm going to mention to you are actually available for download, and so I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm not monetizing this video, and I do not want any copyright infringements going on. Hopefully that the following people that I will be mentioning will take this as a promotion, okay, and an advertisement for free on my channel. So let's go ahead and go there right now. And this here is Joe Gilder's, all right, on Nimbit, his music site. Now let's go to Joe Gilder. Who is Joe Gilder? This is Joe Gilder, alrighty? He owns and operates Home Studio Corner, alright? And he actually has a lot of free things on his website that he gives away. Now, the other thing is he has what is known as dueling mixes, okay? And he runs that with, you'll notice, Graham Cochran of the Recording Revolution. Now let's go to Graham's Recording Revolution blog as well. And there's Graham, okay? Now we want to go to his products, and you're going to see, all right, right here, dueling mixes, all right, from the Recording Revolution. Same. So now, they also are connected with another mastering engineer in the UK, all right, Britain, of course, and his name is Ian Shepherd. Now you're going to notice here on Home Studio Corner that they mention Ian Shepherd here. This month we invited mastering engineer Ian Shepherd. So the three of these guys pretty much work together hand in hand. Now, especially Joe Gilder and Graham Cochran, obviously. Yet Ian Shepherd, I think, would be the third guy of this group from what I've gathered. Here is Ian Shepherd. Here's his website, Production Advice Company UK. Now, mind you, with Joe and with Graham, all right, they offer free, okay, I'm going to show you, free music to actually mix together with them, all right? Now, they also have these dueling mixing classes, of course, that are, I believe, paid for courses, all right? And, of course, they have a lot of other things and products that they sell. All right, so mixing together, let's see here, click here for your tracks. This is a mix together, a free series of videos where I will invite you to join me, etc., etc. It says, not only that, you can download the tracks and mix along with me for free. All right, now that I've said that, all right, I've said that to preface the way for this. Now, I downloaded this song, okay, free. As a matter of fact, I think I might have downloaded the album, all right? Now, yes, you can download the MP3 album or the WAV album, and you can donate, or you can download these and pay per track. Now, the downloads I have therefore are legitimate, all right? I got them legitimately from them. I did not torrent them. They are not pilfered. I did not steal them at all whatsoever, all right? So in saying that, now I want to go ahead and bring this up. All right, well, here we are. And this is Joe Gilder's song, Free. Alrighty? And I'm going to play this for you, okay? Right here, right now. And I want you to notice something, besides the great music. But let's listen to this great song just for a minute. Alright? I'm going to get to what the point of my video is about. Just the opening here.
You might think it's better than it was a couple hundred years ago, but I think you better take a look. You don't think you'd ever do something,
We'll go ahead and play it just a little
ever
bit
get
more.
yourself that low.
Hopefully Joe and
You've
the
lived
guys will be complimented over
forever
this,
by
okay?
the book. Where are you from? What were you born into? Things that have nothing to do with you. Free, land of the free, home of the brave. At least that's what they say. But if we cross the tracks and see, can't really be land of the free, home of the slave. Yeah, home of the slave.
All right, we'll stop it right there. Now, all right, before I go into the rest of this, I just wanted to, first of all, unadulteratedly let you hear this for yourself and appreciate it. I love the song. The lyrics are great. I think just very creative, okay? Awesome lyrics, awesome song, beautiful melody. All right, now, when I brought this up in Audacity the other day, I'm going to go back over this right now, and I want you to notice what I noticed, okay, then. All right, and here we go. Here's what we're going to look at. Look at this fader up here, okay? And it hits as low as 42 and around 9, okay? So the low part, right, when it's playing, hits at about minus 42 decibels. And at the highest, the second highest point, actually the most, how can I say, consistent high point that it hits is minus 9 decibels. It did once get up to minus 6 decibels, but the most consistent part of this song, the highest it got up to, and it stays up about that high, when it gets to that point, is minus 9 decibels. I noticed that right away. Now here we are, right? Home recording studio owners, and we are mixing and we're mastering, and I'm just taking a stroll, you know. I'm playing this song, well, here in my studio. It's just like I'm taking a stroll, you know. I'm listening to the song, and I don't have anything in mind. I'm not looking to critique it or nothing. I just want to hear it again. I want to listen to it, because actually I'm in the midst of composing a couple more new songs for myself. And I was looking through my archives for some of my audio files of my own that I've recorded, and I noticed that I had this in one of my flash drives. So I said, now it's back in my computer, obviously in some of my folders there. But I said, hey, let me just check this out and listen to this. And I brought it up in Audacity, and I just noticed that. I'm looking at this, and it's hitting minus 42 on the quiet side, and as high as minus 9 decibels on the loudest side, with struggling, I'm sorry to say, to get to minus 6 decibels. And like I was saying, you know, as a home recording studio owners and mixing and mastering engineers that we're attempting to be. I noticed that. All right, so let's play that back again, and you're going to see for yourself one more time. Right there. I actually got down to 45. 9, see? And pushed to 6. It pretty much... Okay, that was the low end. Let's go look at the high end now. One more time. See? -9 and barely pushing to -6. All right? And it stays that way through the whole song. Let's go through that way. Let's go through this. All right?
You like an land of the free.
All right.
Can't take away from all the men and women who...
Some rapping going on in there. Really good, how can I say, choice to have that in there with that song. Anyway, you can go to their website and see who that guy is that he has on his album rapping, so that he gets his credit too. The thing of it is, though, I said that's not right. There's something not right with this. All right. Now, I've just shown you that this song, let's go back here as a matter of fact, is up here. It is on an album. Okay? It is on an album. It is in an album. You can actually get the single, of course, as well. But what I'm saying is it's produced, okay, online for distribution, for download, for use. Now, with that said, okay, the way I do it, I'm sure that the way that they do it is before we upload it online, before we produce it online, before we make it ready for distribution, right? We must what? Okay, now as you'll notice, I'm going to get back to that and answer that question, okay? Let's do that. That's a stereo file, right? So when we mix our tracks, our multi-tracks, right? And then we render them, all right? We render them in a stereo wave file, correct? For what? For it to go to the mastering engineer, or for it to be mastered, okay? Let's say even by the same person, we could do it that way. And now we take that stereo wave file, and now we must master it, all right? Now we've all heard this saying probably, or most of us have, and if we haven't, here's the saying, that we must mix our tracks, but if our tracks that are mixed, now this would be the mix, but if our mix is not mastered, okay, then the song is not finished. So we must take the stereo wave file and we master that wave file. We only have that one stereo wave file to master on, to master with, right? We bring it back into our DAW. We're looking at the stereo wave file, and we must add the mastering, okay, onto it. Now, let's say, since that, okay, Joe and them have this up on their site for sale, it's ready, okay? Then that song, therefore, let's assume, is mastered, alrighty? So when I downloaded this, we downloaded this, okay, this is not dueling mixes, this is not one of those things you download for free, and hey, mix this and master this with me. You'll notice that his website said what? We can mix tracks with him, okay? We can mix our tracks with him, or mix his tracks with him. It does not mention anything about mastering his mixes. All right. So what I'm saying is that as you'll notice that this being a stereo file, that this is not, therefore, the tracks that we're mixing. This is already either a mix or a mastered copy. All right. Now, assuming that Joe and them guys, okay, or Joe, how can I say, let's go back here, I'm sorry, right there, mastered this mix, And therefore, that's why it's uploaded and produced and online and for sale and distributed. Okay, we can assume that his song, that his mixed song is also mastered. Alrighty? Now, let's go one more time to here. So let's assume, therefore, that this song that I downloaded, this is the song, this is the file, all right, from his website, that this is a mastered mix. So what I want to say is it really mastered or not? Because when we see that it's hitting as low as even minus 45, I noticed here today, minus 45 decibels. This is not to critique. This is to mention something and point something out. That when it hits as low as minus 45, I was seeing minus 42, but today I just even seen minus 45 decibels, and hits as high as minus 9 decibels, okay, consistently, and struggles to a couple of times to get to minus 6 decibels. All right, that makes me wonder if this stereo file, because if it's a mixed stereo file, it's going to be, okay, in waveform, but it's still going to be a stereo file. And then when you master it, you render it into what? Still a stereo file. Not wave file, but stereo file. You still master and render it, okay, render it, when it's done, into what? Still the same thing, a stereo file. The same way that a wave file, stereo wave file, is a stereo file. You do the same in mastering and render it to a stereo file. Now, the difference is that we render it into a stereo MP3, right? Now, Joe does make it, obviously he makes it available in the waveform, which is fine, okay, but nevertheless, you know what? We can still master a song and then render it into a stereo wave file. It does not have to be an MP3, okay? But 99.9% of the time it is, okay? And this is one exception I see. Joe's making an exception to the rule here and putting it in waveform for a reason, obviously, right? And nevertheless, okay, but here's the point. Whether it's a WAV file or an MP3 file, you get it? Let's say, okay, is it mastered? And so what I'm trying to deduct here is this, all right? That since it's produced and online and ready for download and use, I'm assuming that he mastered it. But when I look at it here on Audacity, and I'm seeing it, it makes me wonder. And I got to be honest with you, quite frankly, here's my conclusion. I don't think it is. I don't really believe it is. Now, here's the other part to this, and there may be more parts yet, but this next part is, if it is mastered, then I'm going to say that hopefully that I'm complimenting Joe in doing this, but okay, what is this? All right, here's what I did. I took Joe's song, Free, and I decided to either master it or remaster it. Now, if he mastered it, then I'm going to say I remastered it. And if he didn't master it, then I mastered it. But either way it goes, okay, let's say it's done. Now, it's mastered. Okay, now I want to show you, all right, the difference in the sound. And I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to tell you what I did in the mastering process. So let's go ahead and play this. I'm going to let you hear the difference for yourself. Alrighty? So we'll go ahead and start back here with Joe's. Alright, here we go. We're ready to roll. Let's check out the difference. Alright? You can see the difference too. I'm gonna solo between the two. You hear the difference? You can see the difference, right? Okay, now before we even go any further, I want to go back, and I'm just going to solo this, and I want you to see what the quietest part on this is, and then also take a look again at the loudest part. All right, ready? Minus 30 decibels. All right. Minus 30 decibels is the quietest it gets. And guess what? I push it to 0 with no clipping, right? Because if it was clipping, if you know anything about Audacity, there's a little section right here. See where between those arrows? That would have turned red. That would have turned red. And as you'll notice, I got show clipping. So if there's any clipping in this at all whatsoever, you see red lines in here anywhere where it is clipping. All right? So now, as a result, I was able to bring it up, all right, 15 decibels from minus 45 to minus 30 on the quiet end, and from, let's say, minus 9, okay, minus 9, what it usually plays at in here. I'll prove it. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. Watch.
I think you've known that all along.
9. Yeah. Struggling to get the minus 6 decibels on that. All right, that's on Joe's version right there. His mix and master. All right, now back to mine. Watch this.
See, we can't really
All the way to 0.
free.
Pushes all the way to 0 and does not go over a clip. Now let's go ahead and play this back, and I'm going to A-B it again. All right, solo back and forth between the two. All ready? Let's do this. All right, let's start out with Joe's. Now I want you to hear the difference. I'm going to change in between these things. Okay, you will notice the difference. You can even hear the drums better. The dynamic range is better than... Now, wait a second, okay? It wouldn't be, okay, if Joe didn't do a great job to begin with on everything, on the everything, the instruments, the arrangement, the song, the playing, the performance, or whatnot. I'm just saying that the volume in this is the only thing, well, so far that I'm going to mention, that it lacks. All right, and what I'm saying is that his mixer or mastered version did not complement his own work. No disrespect intended, but he did not complement his own work by making sure that more dynamic range was brought out to complement all his hard work on those instruments that they did. All right, so let's continue. All righty.
I think it's better than it was a couple 100 years ago, but I think you better take a look. You don't think you'd ever do something to ever get yourself that low. You've lived forever by the book. Where are you from? What were you born into? Things that have nothing to do with you. Free, land of the free.
All right, let's go
Home
back. Now listen.
Where are you from? Things that have nothing to do with you.
Now listen to this.
Free, land of the free.
Once more with would you rather hear?
Home of the brave. At least that's what they say. But if we cross the tracks and see, can't really be land of the free, home of the slave. Yeah, home of the slave.
All right, hold on. All right, now I also have something else here I want to show you. Alrighty, and we're going to go ahead and just eliminate that, but I wanted to show you this, okay? All right, so I have to get rid of that. Nope. All right, now here's what I did. Okay, I did a number of things on this song the other day, man. I was just at it, you know what I mean? So what do we have here? Okay, we'll unmute these. What do we have here? All right, briefly, this same difference. This track right here is Joe's original. This is my remastered version of that. Now, what I did was, after I remastered it, I brought it into my Reaper DAW. I actually mastered it here in Audacity. Let's go to that first. So what did I do? In Audacity, I simply, okay, let's do this. I went to Effects, and I added a compressor, alrighty? I added compressor. I started working with the tools in the compressor, okay, with these levels or whatnot. Started working with it, listening to it, and once I did that, I actually put let's see, a limiter on there as well. Alrighty, I put a limiter on there and whatnot. Okay, I'm not going to deal with this right now because this is all already done. I'm not putting any more plugins on this as a result. And also you got another limiter, you got a hard limiter too. All right. So that's what I did. It took me a little bit, not very long, but I worked with it. I listened to it. I made adjustments, okay, on the different levels of where we're at, concerning the compressor and the limiter. And then once I did that, okay, I, of course, instead of view any clipping, all right, well, first of all, when I mastered it, I didn't see any clipping. All right. I thought, okay, that's good. Now, I took that and brought it into my Reaper DAW. Okay. So took the WAV file, brought it in my Reaper DAW, just double checking it, noticed it was hitting in the red and it was clipping just barely, but still it was a little bit consistent. And I said, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I started adjusting with just a tad on the volume. All right. Then that way I could just eliminate the clipping, and then, but not very much, because I did not want to mess with the dynamic range volume. So just enough. Then I re-rendered it into another waveform and brought it back into the Audacity by itself, and then went to look at it, and what do I see? A few lines here and there, okay, says show clipping, and it, okay, was by the red lines. All right. And so when you go like this, okay, when you go like that and you make these shorter, okay, when you do like that and you got it right about there and you see okay, watch. The red lines in there, it looks like there's red lines, like what? But when you open it up, okay, you open it up and you say, oh, those red lines are only every so often, but combined, okay, it adds up. So what did I do? It was not bad. It was just here and there, okay, but closed up, it looked like, wow, there seems to be a lot of red in that. Only because it was compressed, bunched up like this. But open it up and you see they were every so often. All right, well, look, man, the one thing that I learned about this, especially in Audacity of engineering here, is when you could take, you want to go to amplitude. That's where or amplify. That's where you start to, that's how you're going to get rid of your clipping. if you've done your very best, and now you just want to clean it up a little bit more and make sure it's absolutely perfect and no clipping, what you're going to do is you go in here. So what I do is I go right in here, and I will start out, if I think there's, like there's only a little bit of clipping here and there, and I know there is, let's say, then I start out with minus 0.1. I want to bring it down just 1/10 of a decibel, not 1 decibel, but 1/10. We'll start there. If that may get rid of some lines. Then I'll start at, say, minus 0.2, etc. 0.2 of a decibel, then 0.3 of a decibel. All right, start there when you only have them clipping lines every so often. Well, I brought it down 1/10 of a decibel, and it got rid of all the clipping completely. Alrighty? Now with that limiter on there, that's what keeps it from the compression, and the limiter together allows me to bring this up to 0, but at the same time that limiter, allows me to keep it from going over 0 and to keep it from clipping, therefore, which is, in other words, what? Distortion. Alright, so then I took that WAV file and I transferred it into, now that I've got that thing perfected, I took that WAV file and transferred it into my hardware, my Tascam DP24, all right, that has a CD burner on it. And what I did was import it into my Tascam DP24 audio depot, which I also have it now in one of my tracks and files in there, besides my song files. But I wanted to burn it out on a CD. So you simply, in the Tascam, you bring it in, WAV file, you hit mix down. You don't put any effects on it or plugins or VSTs or nothing, or compression or EQ. But you got to go through your mixer on your EQ through here and make sure everything's off, and make sure that your pan is still centered, because the pans are still being read or active regardless. So just make sure everything's, whatever track you have this on, like I brought in is stereo track, and I have stereo tracks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stereo tracks. In other words, track 13 and 14, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So stereo file you bring into one of those stereo tracks. So you bring it in, and then you hit mix down. You hit mix down, all right, button, and it brings it into mix down function, and then you hit play and record. Let it play all the way through. Then you hit the mix down function again, because that is actually mix down and mastering. Then it goes to the mastering function, and I didn't do anything else. I left the compression off, the EQ off, everything else off in the mastering part. And what you do again is hit record and play, and it masters it down. All right, now that it masters it into an MP3, now I can take and burn that file out onto into a CD. It does have the CD burner. I say, okay, burn that file onto a CD, finalize it, because that's the only song I'm going to put on there. All right, it does it. Very brief time. Out comes my CD, burn. Of course I have to pop a CD in there too, because it doesn't make the CDs actually, the plastic discs. But anyway, pop that CD disc in there, burn it onto that disc. Then, when it's done, pop it out, and there you go. So, I'm playing it back on my Tascam though, on my file. And then it's, okay, this sounds really good. Now let me pop the CD back in there. Now my Tascam becomes a CD player. So I pop the CD in there, and then I go over to my keyboard, okay, and I'm just listening to the song, and that's when I noticed something. Actually, before I went to my keyboard, I noticed something as I'm playing this CD that I just burned it out on. I'm noticing one more thing. All right, everything is great. The dynamic range of this is perfect. Now it's mastered. It's mastered really good, in my opinion. All right, but I'm noticing something, and here's what I noticed. All these things. All right, I noticed this. All right, I said, bring up the keyboard. What's it here? I said, make the keys shine all the way through this section. And that's the other thing I noticed, that the keys, at the time that they had the opportunity to bring the keyboard up, they didn't. And when it should have shined, they didn't make it shine. So there's one thing more I would have done. That's when I walked over to the keyboard and see if I could match that sound that the keyboardist is playing, and see if I could add anything, you know, like play it like he's playing it. And I'm sorry, although I have a lot of different tones on my keyboard, I don't have that tone because it's not a real expensive keyboard. It's Casio, but not real expensive, and I couldn't find that tone. And I wanted to be able to play like he was playing, and I just couldn't seem to do it, so I had to leave it out. I couldn't even add another track, but how are you going to add another track to an already mastered or, you know, MP3 or WAV stereo file? I'd have to set it, remix it together and pan that keyboard just so. I'm sure it could be done, okay? Hopefully it wouldn't be hokey, but I got to thinking, you know, well, I don't have the ability to do that with my keyboard. I'm not that much of a proficient keyboardist anyway, though I could probably finagle something. But at the same time, I just decided, okay, I'm going to leave it alone. But I will go ahead and make notes. So that's for sure. Now, also in here, I noticed that the keys, I guess are okay. They could be possibly emphasized a little bit, but a little bit more here and there. Perhaps not, but definitely in here for sure. There was the opportunity to do it, and they did not do it. The other thing is, when Joe says free, okay, me, we, see, and he says, land of the free. Okay, let's go ahead and play this, all right, and do this right now. All right, solo that, and go here, right here.
Free, land of the free, home of the brave. At least that's what they say. But if we cross the tracks and see, can't really be.
You know what I'm saying? Now, right there, first of all, for that to be repeated by someone else, okay, you could say would be backup vocals. The other thing is, what about backup vocals? You know, something, you know, singing along in there with them. Free,
land of the free,
land of the free,
home of the brave. At least that's what they say. But if we
something, perhaps some sort of like that, you know, thereabouts, okay? And you get the idea, right? But right here, watch this, right here. Listen to this. Tell me the
free
keyboards.
Home of the slave. Yeah.
That's not very loud at all. It's not loud at all. And that's on my remastered part. Alright, let's stop and go back on his.
Home of the slave.
Alright, now I gotta say, once again, the background or the keyboarders are like, they're putting those in the background. And they're keeping them in the background. And at the time, they should be emphasized and volume should come up and they should shine, okay? Because the vocals start to make room for that. Allow it. Watch.
Land of the free, home of the slave. Yeah.
Okay.
Home.
In between him saying free and slave, right there. Now his vocals are no longer, right, at that moment, the star of the show, right? Now the star of the show in a song are what? The vocals. As David Wills from ProAudioDVDs.com will say. I've taken courses from him. Check them out, okay? Yet, in between those moments where the vocals are not being used and the instruments are, make those the star, make them shine. Now, especially keyboard, because keyboard is so beautiful and that keyboard is kind of sexy. You get what I'm saying? In a good way. And that's when that keyboard should have been made to what? Be heard louder. Shine. Yes. All right. Now, let's go back over in here.
Home of the brave. At least that's what they say. But if we cross the tracks and see,
said a mouthful, man. When you said that, man. I mean,
Home of the slave.
you know, some people not gonna understand the concept of what you're saying.
All right, now let's do this. Let's go back to this because he's featuring on featuring Low Pro. They wouldn't want to give this guy his credit, okay? So the guy rapping, I do believe, is Low Pro. Now maybe we should look up Low Pro. Well, let's see if we can find Low Pro and Joe Gilder, okay? I just want to see if there's a photo of Low Pro in here, man. Let's take a look at some images. All right, now I see Joe Gilder there, and he's with, oh my God, he's with, hold on. The guy from Warren Hewart. The guy from Produce Like a Pro. That's who he is. Joe Gilder's with Warren Hewart here. Okay, I noticed that right away. Warren Hewart, Produce Like a Pro. Okay, so how you doing, Warren? I've taken some notes from Warren before and subscribed to him and whatnot. I don't see Low Pro in here, though. I just don't see him. Sorry. I wish that they would have some photos of this. But anyway, there you go. There's some free publicity for them guys. So let's go back over here, and I sure wish that they had. Okay, let's take a look at the info. Alrighty. So, okay. Performed and recorded on the drums. The drums performed and recorded by Tim Horsley. Okay. And etc. More. Let's go on down. But, alright, I'm sorry guys, that's the best I can do. Alrighty, I tried. Nevertheless, what am I saying here? Alright, let's go back to this. Alright, so, you know
concept what you're saying. Let me see if Low Pro can put some perspective in the situation. Yeah. Can't take us to the highest consumer ugly.
I'm just going to go ahead and skip forward on this. I want you guys to go ahead and check it out. Free. Alright. And so next of all, what else am I trying to say here? Alright, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I want you to hear. Alright, we'll do this. I want you to hear, this is going to be very important. Let me adjust the screen here. Alright, if you're going to do that. I want you to hear this real quick. And I want you to count out how many times you hear those drums. Of how many times you hear a 4 count on those drums before anything else kicks in, like the guitar. Okay, here we go. You hear it twice, right? Before the guitar kicks in. All right, now, the other thing I did was the following. All right. I thought, man, I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear that play 3 times, right? And then the guitar kicking in. Okay, so let's try that. Something about me being in the military, I think, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what I would have liked to have heard. So I actually remixed that part. Okay, yeah, took a piece of one of those 4 counts and put it in here and remixed that part and remixed the part together with the track with the serial file and got that. Now the other thing is that I got is I thought, what if we did this? All right, what if we did this? Okay, what if we just started out with this? Are you ready? What if we just start out with the guitar? All right, right? Bow, down, da 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 da, bow. Oh, I thought I want to hear that, so I remixed it again and re-rendered it. Okay, so I have, what do I have? I have Joe's version of his original. I have the remastered my, remastered version of his song. Alrighty? Let's go back over that. Here's Joe's song. His original. Mix and master, I suppose. Here's mine. You can tell by just look at the difference between the sizes, the stereo width of that. Okay, the dynamic range of these same two, it's the same song, same stereo file, except for this one here, I added compression and a limiter on. Okay, that's it. And of course, I had to work with the adjustments to listen to it and see what adjustment worked best. Now the other thing is, we also have here, what I would like to have seen in this song. Alrighty, right here. Now, the other thing is also, we can go to this right here. And this is the one with the 4 count of the drums. Alright, the extra 4 count of the drums. So 3 times instead of 2 on the original, where the guitar comes in. So 3 times on the drums, then the guitar. Alright, so I extended the drums on that, and then the other one is right here, where come in immediately with just the guitar. Alright, and so there you go. And one more time, let's do this, guys. And as you'll notice, I actually, when his comes in with the bass, or as his guitar comes in, he comes in with the bass first, which is great, and that's his call, that's his song. But here's the deal, man. I tell you what, I wanted to take that out and just do this. I took out the bass, all right, right, that part right there. Okay, I edited that out. I didn't go boom, bow. Ba ba da ba da boom, bow. So, not the boom first on the bass, okay? Just the lead electric guitar. Now you notice that when they start up boom, bow, that the bass carries through with the mix, okay? And you can hear it under the underlying part underneath the lead guitar. Okay. See? One more time. Okay, which is fine. All right. But anyway, that's my 3 different renditions of Joe's song. Already include 3 different renditions, but man, would I have liked to have added a 4th? Okay, because of the backup vocals. Bring up the keyboard. Repeat these words and vocals. Make the keys shine all the way through, as I mentioned. All right, so that's the 4th version I would have done if I could have. Now, do I bother? Do I bother doing that now? No, I don't think so. Because first of all, I can't. Like I said, I don't have the same sound tone. Although I've got many tones for my keyboard and organs and whatever on my keyboard, for that I don't have that one particular tone that guy is using. He has on here, and plus I'm not really that much of a proficient keyboard player. I think I probably could have done something to resemble it as best as I possibly could. Now, as far as the backup vocals go and all these other things, that'd be great. But do I want to hear mine on there? Not necessarily. Okay? Not that mine are bad, but I just don't, like I just get tired of hearing myself sometimes. And so, with that said, perhaps I should just go ahead and sum this video up and say sayonara and adios. All right, so there we go, guys. There we have it. And I just thought I'd mention that, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to the main screen. All right, I just do want to mention one more time. Okay, here's Joe Gilder's music page. It's at Nimbit. Okay, if I can get the screen open up. All right, nimbitmusic.com, Joe Gilder Music. Alrighty, and then remember to go to Home Studio Corner with Joe. All right, and They have dueling mixes, like I said. Here's Graham from the Recording Revolution. Alrighty, and then here's Ian right here, Ian Shepherd. All right, so check those guys out and tell them Top Cat Jimmy sent you. Alrighty, so let's see here. Okay, folks, well, we're back to the main screen, and just want to say thanks for tuning in and for watching this video. And wow, I didn't expect it to be an hour long, but that's the way it goes. Okay, I do have to edit this, so it's going to be a little bit shorter than what I'm seeing right now. All right, and that says a little over an hour. Okay, I was like, what? 2 hours? No, 1 hour. All right. All righty, so as I was saying, this is Top Cat Jimmy. Thanks for tuning in to my channel here at Top Cat Jimmy TV on YouTube. All right. I say sayonara, adios. God bless you. See you again, hopefully soon. See you again next time.